What's up, safe shoppers? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna be looking at some economical residential safes today. These are the Amsec AM series. We'll get into it, right? Height, size, weight, cost, why you might consider buying this. Let's get right into the video. You ready? Let's go. Huh. Today's video sponsor is
StopBox, the American-made rapid access pistol box every homeowner needs. No electronics, no batteries, no gimmicks. With unmatched toughness provided by glass-reinforced polycarbonate ABS and steel reinforcement, this case can withstand multiple 35-foot drop tests while carrying a firearm. Their patented finger lock allows for 81 possible combinations and only 4 easy steps to access your weapon. The StopBox Pro comes in 2 different sizes and 4 unique colors to suit your needs. Go to StopBoxUSA.com and use our discount code A1EDU.
So I'm saying economical, I'm saying residential because this is not a heavy duty, crazy safe. Now Amsec, as you've seen in some of our other videos, they do make that type of product. This is not kind of that. This is kind of that document safe. It's often referred to, I hear in the business a lot. And there are 3 sizes available. We'll play a little game we like to play around here called What You See in Front of You. We'll start there and then we'll move on. First things, I'll probably just throw some numbers up on the top so you can see the measurements of everybody while we kind of go through this a little bit. So starting here on your left is going to be the 20-inch tall, 20-inch wide, and 20-inch deep one. That is the AM 2020. Sounds right in my head. In the middle, that guy right there is actually the exact same width. Watch this. And it's the same depth, okay? But it's actually 30 inches tall, so a little bit taller. And then on the end, can anybody guess? That's correct. It is 20 by 20, but it is 40 inches tall. So we've got options depending on how much stuff we need to put up, okay? The color, that is known as the deep blue texture. Catching your eye? Is it appealing to you? Do you like that? If you do happen to like that, or maybe you don't, you probably should like this video either way. Just be a fan. Go ahead. Yeah, jump in there. Subscribe. Thanks for following along. The 20 inches on all 3 of them is talking about or referring to, again, the back of the safe to the front of the safe. That does not refer to the adjustable ball bearing hinges, nor the keypad, the handle, okay? So you wanna add safely about 2.5 inches on these guys for that kind of depth to allow that room for when you're measuring, going through narrow doors like closets, bathrooms into a closet or whatever, measuring that way, okay, thinking that way. Now they don't actually have power in these, so there's not much to measure back there. We'll get into the power talk towards the middle or towards the end of the video though. So back to it. This is the ESL5. This is a keypad that's made by Amsec, a little different than our other manufacturers that we bring you so often, meaning that Amsec, the safe company, does own and does their own R&D, does their own creating of their own keypads. It's pretty neat. And the ESL family, there's several of them. They've got some wild stuff. That guy is keypad only option, unfortunately, but these 2 can be swapped out to a mechanical. So keep that in mind when you're asking me about the locks or when you're purchasing from us. Link in the description below. So that is in the black nickel, as is the single drop point handle as well. That's the black nickel. The black off the blue, that's nice. So staying with what's in front of us, right? The body construction, so the body, we'll get to the door, is constructed of 12 gauge steel. It's good. It's okay. It's not great, no, and for all my keyboard warriors that want to tell us how terrible and piss poor that is, I'm telling you that it's good. We put this in a safe spot and we bolt it down to the concrete floor for you. The average knucklehead coming in with brute force and tools, hand tools, and trying to beat and pry and blah, 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 they're probably not going to be very successful. Again, I wouldn't put $100,000 in this, but it's good. I'm calling it the document safe, kind of where I started with. Stay there with me, okay? The thing after that would be the external relocker, which is like a booby trap or a mouse trap. So if somebody walks up with a big 3-pound sledge, and I'll just beat my way in here and I'll just get that thing to fall off and the door will magically open. Staying with the door, staying with what we see in front of us, the door, just because I don't have to bend over, is constructed of a 1/4 inch thick steel plate. I like that a lot, actually. That really helps with the beating and the everything. So that whole piece of steel that you see there in front of you, it's the same on all 3 of them. I'll get them open here in a second. That is a 1/4 inch, solid 1/4 inch thick piece of steel. And so again, behind that, inside the door, before that hardened steel that we talked about for drilling purposes a second ago, there's another layer of 12 gauge steel. So this construction behind that as well, making the door a little thicker, a little harder to abuse, and harder to get into, okay? So we'll stay here with the doors. We've already got it. We've got the 1.25 inch diameter bolts. And on these particular line of safes, they are 3 sides, meaning left, right, and then the top. So we'll just kind of pop that. So as I'm talking, in case you're in a hurry, let me just help you out there. All right. So 1/4 inch steel, this door, everything you see is exactly the same. So everything we tell you, except for the dimensions, is exactly the same, which is pretty neat. The bolts are actually not active though on the back side of these doors. And that's okay, because when the door shuts, that just means that that bolt is always in and it's always in that locked position. You really technically only need top, bottom, or front side of any door to actually retract in order to open a door, right? So they're always out. So, where do I leave off at? Right about there? Belts, 3-way, very good. Probably a big question you're gonna ask yourself, because you need to, is, what about fire rating? Is that important to me? Because, I see these other safes, and so what's the fire rating of these guys? I think it's a good topic. So we'll put a graph up, and then, I don't know if they're just gonna lower it down, or I don't see a graph above me. We'll just make one up as we go. How about that? I'll just dim the lights, and then we'll go ahead and put a graph on the screen. Dim the lights, please. It's not bad. Dim them a little more. It's close enough. Okay, here we go. So imagine that there's a fire burning and it gets as hot as 1,200 degrees. Here's my graph. So I'm all the way up here, right? The fire has reached 1,200 degrees, which is actually an exceptionally hot house fire if that was ever to happen. Commercial too, to be honest with you. It's a really hot fire. Now imagine that it stays 1,200, once it finally gets there, it stays that hot for a consecutive 45 minutes. So 45 minutes is 1,200 degrees. The manufacturer is telling us that for that temperature at that length of time, it won't get hotter than 350 degrees on the inside. Okay? Turn the lights back on. So why is 350, 12, 45? Why do any of things matter? Well, paper is combustible just over 400 degrees. And I'm saying just over because it depends on the type of paper. The stuff you got printed at FedEx or your passport, or if you got a couple bucks worth of cash in there, all these things have a different combustion rate, but they're all over 400. So we're down here at 350 on the inside is the goal. With the fire protection though, they don't say it, but I do. They have like a material very similar to, that's legal, Halusol. So this material that you see here on all 3 of the doors, the shiny black business, that material is going to expand 7 times its natural size during a fire, creating the tightest seal that it could possibly get between the door and the body. This gap that's right here, again, we want to block out as much anything as we can put in there, right? You see the shelving, so that's going to be adjustable all the way up and down. This 1, 2 shelves, and then 3 shelves. Sorry. Yeah, 2 shelves. So you've got some modularity, which I think we're all looking for when we're trying to find what we want in a safe. They do have, I mentioned it a little bit, so they do have 4 holes in the bottom. So again, when we deliver this for you, we can put it in place and then anchor it to the slab. So that adds again to its strength against those brute force attempts or those knuckleheads breaking into the houses. That helps quite a bit. Oh, I was gonna bring you back to it. So probably got some B-roll because you can't see what I'm looking at right now. But on the back side of them, there is a small, about a 3/8 inch hole. And so even though they don't come equipped with power, and there's not a power kit available for it, well, we did a video, and in that video, we showed you how we can actually make your own little internal power system very simply, and how you can actually add power to this. So if you do want to add lights, dehumidifier, watch winder, you know, you would have the ability to do that with those. So that's a really easy way to get into that. And so with that, I think it's very important that I figure out weight. So put it right up here. Wait, hold on. Can you put it right here? Yeah, 180 pounds for the little guy. Don't count him out. 230 pounds for the middleweight, and the heavy guy comes in at 316 pounds. So they're not ridiculous, but they've got heft because, again, we've got a fairly good amount of steel, as we talked about. You know, just the door itself, that's pretty nice. And then after that, I'm gonna say MSRP, okay? Because the Amsec world, you know, you're never gonna pay MSRP, but that's the number that gets floated around a lot. Just call me. Or go to the website, check out the link and you'll see some pricing there, okay? So the little guy is gonna start at about $10.90. The fella in the middle, the AM 3020, is gonna come in at $12.75. And then the big juggernaut of the group on the end over there is about $14.60. And like I said, no, you're really not gonna pay that price, but there's just this weird thing about the Amsec family pricing, so this is us not poking the bear, okay? Go check the website. What did I miss though? That's probably pretty much about it, honestly. So check these out, check out more. Again, if you like this kind of content, let us know. We want to do as many safes as we can because we realize that not everybody's shopping for some of the big monster gun safes that we put up here. So anyway, check out the merch, a1edustore.com. It's always important. Something like that, yes. And then link in the description. If you're gonna buy one of these, you might check the description. There's probably a code. It's A1EDU. But you didn't hear that from me. So, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate your time. We understand it's valuable. Robert, your friendly neighborhood locksmith, A1EDU, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.